Alright guys, this is going to be a long video, and I'm sorry for that. But you might want to pay attention. I'm going to be telling you a couple secrets that I know, that I've learned over the years from dealing with toxic people. There have been at least 3 occasions now in my life where I have almost quite literally sniffed out a toxic person before anybody else even knew that they were toxic. Or they may have known, but the minute I saw them, I was like, oh, they're toxic. They're just bad news. First of all, everything they say is going to be passive-aggressive. They're going to make everything about them. The world revolves around them, and you're their little step stool that they can step on. That's the way they're going to behave. You're going to hear them make snide comments and phrases in public that usually would be common or not even that bad, but the way they say it comes off a little edgy. As if they're just kind of making a dig at you. But it's so subtle that you can't really tell. You just get the feeling that something's off. Something's not right. They're the kind of person that they don't smile that often. They don't have an uplifting voice or charisma about them. Instead, it's all mopey and down. A toxic person is going to be the kind of person who is going to put you down. Anytime you start to get a step up, they'll show face as if, hey, I'm doing good, I'm a manager, let me do this, but it's more of a check in the box than it is I genuinely appreciate what you're doing for me. They're the kind of people that when they're managers, they might even say something like, you don't tell me what to do, I tell you what to do. Or they might even come up to you and just yell at you because you've done something they don't like. Instead of talking to you, instead of speaking to you and asking you why you come up with a decision, instead, they will immediately go on the offensive and start asking you snide, rude, and pointed questions that aren't designed to get an answer. They're designed to get a rise out of you, and that's it. And if you do give an answer, then what you've done is you've given them more ammo to fire with. Those are toxic people. Now let me tell you how to defend against a toxic person. Generally, you're going to want to just not respond. Don't give them the flame and fire and ammo that they need to shoot you with. Don't allow them to have that kind of power and control over you. Don't roll over and let them step on you. Some people will tell you, oh, it's just how they are. If you just let it roll off your back, you'll be fine. No, that's absolutely not how you handle somebody who's toxic. Because the minute you let them roll over you, they're going to keep rolling over you, and there's nothing you can do about it because you've allowed them, you've shown them that it's okay. And it's not okay. So what you should do is not respond to them. You should also document every time this happens. This way, whenever they realize that you're not going to bend over backwards and let them just roll right over you like they're used to, and they try to get rid of you, try to cause negative drama in your life, or try to hurt you in some way, you can say, oh wait, I have all these things that you have done to me. I'm not the bad guy, and you are quite obviously the predator here. Because that's how they're going to behave. They're going to behave like a predator, and you are just the weak, tiny old person who doesn't know any better. You've been caught off guard. So what do you do in the instance that you have somebody who is being passive-aggressive with everything they say to you? They are actively making jabs at you, trying to see where your holes are in your life to figure out how they can better control you. Instead, a manager should be finding out how you're different so that they can mold and manipulate the tasks that they give you to work best for you and how you do your work. That's how a manager should work. That's how a manager should operate. They should come to you and say, hey, I noticed you did this. Can you tell me why? Oh, okay. Well, that's not really how we do it here, and let me show you how we do it. Because a manager also needs to be able to have the capability of stepping in when you have to step out. When you can't make it that day, and somebody needs to do the job, the manager needs to know how to do that job. And if you got somebody who's toxic and they are putting you down constantly, number one, you should get out of that situation if you can. Number two, if you can't get out of the situation, you should see if you can make them get out of the situation. They don't deserve to be there. They don't deserve to put you and everybody else down around them. Now, you're going to run into people who are toxic people, but they put up a mask in front of everybody else. And everybody thinks they're the nicest person on the planet. But they're really just toxic. I've ran into a few of those too. Those you got to be careful about. They have a lot of power because they have a lot of friends. When you have somebody like that who's in charge, they have a lot of power and they have a lot of friends, but they are toxic. Document everything. In a lot of states, it's a one-party recording state. You don't have to have somebody else's permission to record audio. You don't. Even in private places, you don't. It's a one-party consent. So you don't have to have two parties. There are some states, check them out where you're at, but some states you do have to have two-party consent, so you can't just record your audio. There's an app, I know at least on Android, called Background Recorder, and you can just hold a button on your phone, and it'll immediately start recording audio, and nobody else will be the wiser. So when you have an instance like that, where you don't expect when this person's going to say the snide comments, you don't know when they're going to do it. So what you do is you carry your phone with you everywhere you go. And anytime they start talking to you, you immediately press that button, make it conspicuous so they can't see it, and start recording them. And if they just so happen to say something, boom, you got them. One more tick in the box of evidence you've got. Then go back and transcribe everything that's in the audio so people can actually understand what was said. Give a little bit of explanation about what happened, why it happened, etc. The second thing you want to do is not get emotional. You're going to want to defend yourself. You're going to want to get emotional. Don't do it. Don't give them that fire. Don't give them that ammo. Don't let them do it. So you're going to want to document, record, don't give them ammo by being emotional, and you're going to want to start gaining yourself some friends too. Because realistically, what's going to save your butt is when you have a lot of people backing you up. If it's just you fighting against everybody else, you're going to lose every time. It doesn't matter how right you are. But if you have a lot of people that you're friends with, then you absolutely 100% have something to fight with. The fifth and final thing I'm going to say is you kill it with kindness. Kill it with kindness. Obviously, don't say things like, bless your heart, because we all know now that that's kind of a mean thing to say. But smile. Give them the smile. Let them know that what they've said hasn't hurt you at all. It does not affect you. And kill them with kindness. Say, thank you, I appreciate your insight, you're a great help. And walk away. I'm sorry, I said 5 and final. The sixth thing, don't let them have the opportunity. Just don't. Walk away. Don't respond. That's what I do sometimes. When they want to be negative Nancy out there, I just don't respond to them. Again, they don't have the fire to shoot me down with. They don't have that oomph to drive in with. Then they can't be toxic to you. And if they keep trying to be toxic to you, that just gives you more ammo against them because you're recording, you're documenting, you're doing all the things right. So guys, good luck out there. Have fun, be safe, stay positive.